Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is for you, wherever you are in, on, or around the static planet, because that's where we're tuning in live from ourselves. That's where we're running the show from. I had my Red Bull today, Dale. I had my apple cider vinegar. I just splashed I took the cold shower. Cascading rain coming down. I heard a story about raining worms somewhere, but we'll talk about that in a minute. The cats have been fed their catnip. Everybody's content. We are live right here, right now. My name, of course, is Michael John of Michael John's Paranormal Ghost Stories. That's my co-ghost host to the other side of me there. That's the best way, instead of the left or right, because I never know. Sit down. What is it? Stand up, sit down, fight. No, that's a whole other thing. I think that's football. We're a ghost show, folks. We're a paranormal show, folks. Anyways, next to me is my co-ghost host, like I like to say, the man of the hour, the man of the power, too sweet to be sour. Dale, high spirits, quickly together. We are the voice of the paranormal, the voice for the paranormal. We are Windsor, Ontario's own, the paranormal voice. And what a heck of a show we're going to have today. Oh my God, what a guest, a Jill of all trades. And we don't get too many of them type of lovely ladies on. I mean, we got all kinds of lovely ladies, lovely guests, but not all of them can get on the ball with the A to the Z when it comes to paranormal and be as articulate as this guest we have coming up next year. I'm very excited to be talking with her, of course. Dale, what's been going on? We got so much going on. Again, what a busy month. God. It's been busy.
Oh, it has been an absolute dream month, let me tell you. And I just want to say once again, what fun it was hanging out with MJ Dixon, John Zaffis, Jeff Belanger, Kim Sage, Kelvin Von Crush, and the whole Save Tribe up in King George, Virginia, up at the Bellgrove Plantation. Oh, Michelle, the woman who takes care of the Bellgrove. And I'll tell you, what an amazing event! Sage Paracon, I'll tell you, it is an absolute amazing event. And if you get a chance to ever attend, I suggest you highly do, because it is 3 days of absolute fun in the sun. It was amazing to be out there. I can't wait to get back out there again. But also, too, man, I'll tell you, you've been on a pretty crazy adventure yourself. You just celebrated 30 years with Border City Wrestling, man. I'll tell you, what a night that was.
Congratulations.
Seeing Michael John, a.k.a. Bobby Clancy, get back in the ring, shaking hands, saying hello to everybody. And I was telling you, it was a fun feel. It was nice to see you back in your element, man. It was so good to see you back. You didn't take any crazy bumps, but you know what? That's okay.
No, you know what? It was great to actually get to share that with you. And of course, your son, my godson, Leland Quigley, was there. Loves his wrestling, so it was really cool. We were really fortunate. We got to sit in front row. My longtime wrestling friends, Phil Romandia and Big Pat Ryan. Phil, also known as Arrogant Otis Apollo. Border City Wrestling, 30 years. So many people came up to us that I've never met, introducing themselves, telling us how, we've entertained them over the years from different shows over the course of the years in Windsor. So, I mean, that itself, what a gift that was, to get up and celebrate a friend of mine. Jeffrey Scott, also Impact Wrestling's Jeffrey Scott, celebrated 30 years. Finally, they put him in the Hall of Fame after 30 years, Border City Wrestling Hall of Fame. Thanks to Impact Wrestling's Scott Demore as well. Another one of the curators of Border City Wrestling, of course, Chuck Fader. Scott Demore, rest in peace, the late, great Doug, Canadian Destroyer Chevalier, and, of course, Jeff Kavanaugh. I got to mention as well, James Trepanier, those guys. Thanks to all them for making what happened on the past weekend. Border City Wrestling's 30th anniversary, a real success. Moving on from there. For those that know, I am an author now. Michael John's Paranormal Ghost Stories, available on Amazon.com. Going quite well. I got a couple more heads up today. A couple more people let me know, hey, they just got their book. I'm going to start actually going around here in Windsor. I'm offering to those that do have books. I'm going to come meet you personally and autograph it for you. There will be some book signings coming up here in the city as well. Of course, my co-ghost host there is also kind of my manager sometimes. Really helped me get the stuff done. So it's exciting. We got a lot going on there. Dale, what do we got coming up? I mean, we got the lovely guest tonight, but what's coming up? What's coming up the road? Holy cow!
Actually, the next stop for us, we're headed off to Lockport, New York. To the Western Block with our good friend Frank Koopa and Heather, who run Western Block. They do this thing every Saturday throughout the month of October, and I think a little bit into November, where they actually do a family environment where they bring kids in, teach them all about the ghost hunting equipment, and then allow the kids to go through the Western Block to kind of do their own little investigation. So we're kind of blessed. They asked us to come down to be a part of that. So that's coming on. Like I said, that'll be October 21st. And then the week after that, we head to the big Connecticut out there to the Mohegan Sun Casino to be a part of the Warren's Paracon. So I'm looking forward to heading out to Connecticut, hanging out with some peeps down there. So guys, yeah, you want to come out? You're in the Connecticut area? Come on down to the Warren's Paracon. Check us out. You get to see the real Annabelle. She's going to be in the building. So that's pretty exciting in herself. But yeah,
don't look her in the eyes.
Do not look her in the eyes. Yes, no.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
But before we bring out our guests, I just want to say hi to a few people that's coming on. We have the lovely Lauren Helskison. We met her up at the Maya Paracon. She creates her own.
Lauren.
Yes.
Helskison.
There we go.
Yes, Lauren. Hello. Oh my God! Thanks for joining us.
And we have Denise Kyle, and we have Shayla Rickard. I met Shayla up at Sage Paracon in Virginia. I'm sorry, Lauren. I'm really bad with names. That's why I leave that all to Michael John over there. I'll butcher my own name if I wasn't told it enough times.
Yeah, let's give them all the high sign, though. At least everybody coming on. Hello, all 7 years. Little Rascals high sign. Thank you so much for joining us. How lucky are we? Oh my God, this is so cool.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
But yeah, no, and we're glad everybody's out here today joining us for this. So right now, Michael John, what's not? It's not about us. It's about our amazing guest that's coming out right now, right?
Yes, we are done talking about the crazy train known as the Paranormal Voice. Because wow, we are trucking down that railway. I'm telling you, a lot of opportunities happening for us. Moving forward now to the point. Why are we here? What are we doing? Who are we with? Who's hanging out with us today? Oh my God. Like I said, she is a Jill of all trades. I think that's why we're getting all these views right now, and people are tuning in right now because they want to see who we're talking to. And I mean, there's so many things about her. I mean, she's had her hands in so many things, not to mention paranormal investigation. I mean, cryptids. She reads people worldwide. Her readings, they're second to none. She's a medical intuitive, whatever the heck that is. I don't even know. I can't wait to ask her. She teaches spiritualism, intuition, mediumship, physical ability, psychic ability. Very gifted at reading remotely. A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3. There's everything. What doesn't she do? We're going to find out soon. Let's bring her in now from Palmyra, Wisconsin, ladies and gentlemen. We were talking about in the back, the very lovely, very talented, and hilarious. I gotta mention as well, Dana Stricker. Come on down.
Hello.
Hello.
I think that's the first time Palmyra, Wisconsin has been set on the air.
Wow.
Maybe we can get a stoplight now.
we're pitching for a stoplight for this town.
At least one. Yeah.
We need at least just one. All right. We've already got a Dana from Lauren. And
Lauren
Joe Para Oddities is watching us too. And
Hello.
Jenny Laporte.
Yep.
Hello, Jenny.
Hello, thanks. So everybody. Any questions for Dana? Yes, feel free to just type them in the comments there, or if you just want to
Oh,
say a
Matt.
beautiful message to her, talk away. So Dana, it's so good to see you. We just saw you up at the UFO Contact Convention, which was another amazing weekend.
It sure
Love.
is.
Yeah.
Wow,
Sure
what an
is.
amazing place.
Mhm.
We love Holt Lake. We love Deb and RJ DeRoos and Mike Smith. Yeah, I mean, what an amazing. That is another conference, people. If you're into the UFOs, that is definitely the place to come and hang out. And the experiences that people walk away with in that
Mhm.
from that convention is so amazing. I mean, you had a spectacular lineup of speakers, but so it was good to see you down there. Got to hang out and talk a little bit more. And here you are live with us on TPV Nation. We were so happy to
Yeah.
have you. So Dana, we're going to get right into this. We're going to fill people in about who you are.
Okay.
How far back do you go that you can remember that you've had your special gifts?
I remember doing things that were weird, quote unquote, when I was very, very young. Like probably I was still in diapers,
Wow.
1.5, maybe. I don't know what diaper age
Come on.
is. I was very aware of things very early. I wish that type of memory carried through to now, but no. Um, I was always a little off. I was seeing people standing in our dining room, and we still lived in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is where I was born. There would be a man standing there just talking to me, or not talking. Actually, he never talked, but he'd be staring at us while we ate, and he was always in the corner, and I'd always be like, that man is there again. And my dad would be like, God, no. Because he was Irish Catholic, so it was kind of like, what is this kid doing? So it started out for me really young, but I really didn't identify it as. It was very isolating for me as a child, so I was really, really shy and really introverted, believe it or not. Um, and I was bullied in grade school and stuff, so I didn't ever vocalize it too much. But I think around 8th grade, when things started kind of turning around socially for me, I started doing more with. I started Ouija board, and then at 15, I had already started reading professionally tarot.
Wow.
And so I started reading at 15 in the professional fashion. And of course, I couldn't tell my people in the town because my dad was like, you're going to have people with torches and pitchforks in the front yard burning crosses. And I'm like, whatever. But he was probably right. So,
Right.
I mean, I wasn't reading like I read now, obviously,
Mm.
but I was reading people and, instead of babysitting, throw me in a different town and have me read couple ladies, that sort of thing. And it was like $10 or something, I was a
Yeah.
kid.
Right.
So yeah, I had
sounds like
weirdness from the start. Let's put it that way.
it sounds like you got your humor from your father, by the way, because you're hilarious. I mean, I love like just.
I don't know where I came from, but no, my mom's pretty funny too. So
Is she? Yeah.
It's gonna be a combination, but
Okay. Okay.
but yeah, and it's from my mom's side of the family. They were a little bit more mystical and woo-woo, if you will.
Yeah.
But apparently I'm kind of the freak, the black sheep one that got a lot of it, and I can't tell you why that is. It's just always been.
So it's okay. So I mean, since in diapers, quote unquote, just now, you've been having experiences and talking and seeing. Now, I believe I read it on your website, which is psychicmediumdana.com. For those that don't know and want to check it out, maybe want to get a reading from you. We'll talk about that, of course, a little bit later on here. But you've read people worldwide. And what does that mean in the sense? I mean, worldwide, which in itself just sounds cool. But I mean, have you spoke to people like you needed an interpreter?
Yes.
Where someone, it was different. Wow.
I did. That is very. I think it's happened once. No, it's twice. It happened twice. Once was a Spanish-speaking client, in Mexico, and then I had a woman in Greece. So
Wow.
I needed that was hard to do because with voice inflection, so she's talking back, and I'm like, oh, she's yelling at me, because I have no idea what she's saying in Greek, but I don't know. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I have done it. Yeah.
That's in itself mind-boggling. Wow. I mean, talk about gifts, and then you're doing that on top of that. That's like that's next level, as I like to say. So that's impressive. Not that you need my pat on the back, but wow.
It's always been that way for me, and the last thing I'm terrible about blowing my own horn. There's lots of psychic mediums out there, and every one of them is different. Some people are stronger at other things. I've just got kind of thrown into it, so I just kind of wing it.
Okay.
I didn't go to school. I didn't go to, I suppose I could, but at 55, do I really want to? What are they going to show me? I'm going to be like all like a snot about it, like whatever. I'm not doing it.
Right.
I already have my own thing figured out. So that's just me.
There are schools out there. We were talking about that when we were at the UFO contact convention together. You and I had a chance to chat, and there are schools out there that actually teach us. And I believe you said basically to describe it, it's basically like Hogwarts or Harry Potter, just to give you an idea, right?
It's a little bit more spiritually driven than that, but at the end of the day, I mean, the Arthur Findlay Institute's actually in England, so. Quidditch, anyone? Wow. I don't know. I have friends that have gone there and taken courses and stuff, and it's absolutely remarkable. It's fantastic, and if you can do it, do. But personally, that's just, I don't find myself, if I had the opportunity to go there, I'd go, but it's not something I'd bucket list, for instance.
Right. Yeah. So we have Stacey Roberts
about it. I don't mean to sound. I think they're remarkable that they even exist, that those types of places exist.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
for a very long time that's been there. So,
no kidding.
Excuse me.
Oh, yeah. You guys need to learn your spirituality colleges.
I guess.
Hey, if that'll get me to go to London, England, or into England, period, I'll go take the course over there. Why not? I mean, get to hang out in England. We got Stacey Roberts on the side saying, "Hey, Dana," and then we have Lauren saying, "Hilarious and literally the best laugh." That is so true. I mean, you do. Your laugh is, it's. I mean,
borderline hysterical because I'm usually on edge.
No, you've got a great laugh. It's just one of those when you're judging people by their laugh, like you've got a good laugh.
I've never been told that. See, all of my friends watching, haha.
Jenny Laporte says, "I just read Exter U is offering a degree in magic and occult science in 2024. Well, I guess I'm going back to school."
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
All of this stuff is, that doesn't shock me, but at the same time, thinking of me back in 1985, 84, it stuns me.
Wow.
Because it was something you couldn't even talk about.
Right.
What? How many years ago is that? Way too long for me. But you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hello, Sheila. Is she saying that to me or?
No, I think that was to me. She called me Dad, but you know what? I've been called worse in my life, but it's all good. But so we have, I believe that's Lauren that was typing that in.
Come here, Jenny. Everybody's.
But I'm just popping up some people that are just comments that I missed that I usually put up on the screen. But so we were talking about something that was very interesting to me, and that coincides with your gift. You actually help some law enforcement with missing persons cases.
Yes,
to me, that is fascinating because I mean, I know by law standards they don't really say they don't believe in psychic mediums and helping them with cases, but here you are, you're in the mix of it, you're doing it. Now,
Well,
can you tell us a little bit about that? Like,
yeah,
I mean,
I can tell you about it because, it's not, number one, it's a huge responsibility. So and it's not something I'm doing. Like, I don't sit at my house like, Nancy Drew every day working a case with the cops. I mean, I would never claim that ever, ever.
That's awesome. Right.
And that's not what happens. What I do get is, a referral from like a friend or family member, for instance. Okay. And I try to tune in because I can do remote. So I really concentrate, and I don't want to know anything about it aside from, why am I doing this? Did they disappear? Are they, I don't want to
Yeah.
know the details of it.
right.
And then I just basically tell them what I get. Well, there's been a few times I think I've done pretty well on, I think it's 4 out of 6. No, 2 of them are still unsolved. But I
Wow.
found the people, and I'm not talking alive people. I don't know. I do not get reached out to find missing people that might still be. I'm always getting the ones that have already deceased.
Wow.
Right.
That's heavy.
So I don't know what that is. I don't know why that is, but
Mm.
whatever. But, there's been a lot of times then when they've had, I know one particular case in New Hampshire, they had to reopen the case. They had to get the dogs back out. They were not happy with me, but they found exactly what I told them they would find.
Right.
So that kept it open more. And I don't think they really liked me by the end. But they did find her. So they found her and was, her family could have her back to bury. So, there's been other ones that have been suicides, for instance, that person's gone missing. There was a local one here in Wisconsin I worked on. And that's what happened to him is what I predicted. That's my cat, by the way.
I thought I was checking if it's one of mine.
No, he when I do podcasts, he's like, I need to be on screen. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. You can't be on screen. But he's over here trying to get my attention. But anyway, so it's not like I'm getting these, I haven't done them the whole time I've read. I haven't done them since I was 15. I would say this has been probably the last 6 years-ish.
Okay.
Because I can read remotely and I know that I can. I'm not like going to sit here and be all like mealy mouthed about it and be like, well, I think I can do it. I know I can do it.
Right.
Why wouldn't you try to help find somebody?
Right.
If you're asked. And so that's where I'm coming at. And obviously I'm not charging money for this.
Yes.
I don't like getting a call from the mad cop, but I do it because somebody needs their kid back.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. So I don't do it, I've been very successful at what I have done.
Yeah.
I don't give out a lot of detail on cases because I feel weird about doing that. And I also, if it sounds familiar to some criminal out there that they haven't caught, I don't want them coming to my town to look for me. So I'm really kind of weird. I think I've watched too much TV on that particular thing, but you never know with people.
But
so I can't say I enjoy doing it, but it's very rewarding to have a good outcome for the person that passed and the family member. So
now, in light of that, I mean, you're saying, oh my God, I'd hate to have a criminal find out where I live and knocking on your door.
Yeah.
Let's segue. I'm going to use that as a segue to what we were talking about backstage. I mean, your town is full of, and the outskirts, the other towns outside of you is full of my favorite topic, cryptids, ladies and gentlemen. Bigfoot, Dogman.
In fact, interestingly enough, one of our listeners tonight is the girl that was here outside when I was in the house when that thing bellowed. It's Jenny Laporte, are you listening?
Ooh,
David's not making that up or something.
That was her.
Yeah, he's the one that was here when that happened.
Yes. Can you share that story again?
And she can correct me if I screw some of this up, but I'll give the basic thing that happened was I was in the house, she was outside. It was night, or pretty sure it was nighttime or dusk time. And I was in my house, and now my town is small, but we have, cars that go by. It's not like I'm in a village. Remember, the village
Yeah.
people are around me. And I heard this strange noise, like an animal type. I don't know how to describe it to you. And she was outside, and she came in. She goes, "Did you hear that?" And I was like, "Yeah, what was that?" It was 4:45 a.m., so it was early. So I knew it was dark outside yet. She's saying it right now, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And she's a cryptid person, more so than I am. I just grew up around here. And she was like, "No, that was a squatch." And I was like, and there's been times too where we get the skunk apey smell. Just I'm in town, but we have field behind us and a swamp, and that's kind of the direction where she heard it coming from. So it was loud enough that I heard it inside of a house.
Wow.
And she was out by her car or whatever. So it was 4:45. So it was early a.m. I thought it was night, and I was
right.
But it wasn't the first time that stuff like that's happened, and I'm not going to name names. There's a particular person that's done a lot of research in this area, and has found things in this area. And I'm in the Kettle Moraine Forest, so it's not like we're living. We're pretty rural that way, so we have a lot of woods.
Right, which is a great place for all that to be going on. And again, you got Bigfoot, Dogman, which is my guilty pleasure. Yep. And then you mentioned a rarity, but I'm intrigued by it. Of course, you mentioned Goatman.
Goatman, Mr. Goatman. Yeah, that one's over by. I'm assuming I always call him Mr. because I can't think of a Mrs. Goatman.
Right. Okay.
No, but a beard or anything. I think that. Goatman was over by Heartland area. People were reporting seeing a very large goat type looking bipedal something. And, we have that all over the place. So like I was telling you guys, there was a physician in a neighboring town here. He's a science guy. He's retired. He's living the dream. He got home from somewhere, walked in his house, and he had a big slide windows in the back, like sliding glass doors, but it was more than one. And he looked up, and he was looking in the eye from a 8-foot deck. So the deck, he's up 8 feet from the ground as it is in the house, and he's looking something dead in the eye, and it was like coming up onto the deck. And he described that as a dog.
Oh, wow.
That's about 16 miles from here where that happened.
Did he describe what type of dog? There's so many. Some people say pit bull, some people say hyena, some people say traditional.
I am not sure
shepherd.
about the facial description, but the muscularity of this thing was like it could snap you in half. He was petrified. I think they moved, to be honest with you. Yeah. So
they did what? They moved?
I think the people moved, or they remained anonymous with their account because of his position in the.
Yes.
Let's put it this way, his perceived of himself.
Yeah.
Elevation.
Yeah.
He didn't want it out that he had seen this thing, but it was enough that it really shook him in his boots. And who wouldn't it? I don't think the dog ones I've heard aren't real sweet.
No, I haven't heard anyone. Well, there's a story. I don't know anybody out there familiar with Missing 411 and Dave Politis. He talks about. I love that show. He's great. Mm-hmm. He talks about there's a child. I'm quoting it. It's been a while since I heard it, but I want to say this girl was about 6 years old, and I can't remember the area, but she went missing for a few days. And they had the search parties, and the search parties combed the same areas multiple times. and they didn't see any child. Then on like day 3 or day 4, whatever it was, they find the child. The child was alive, fortunately, and they're like, "Where have you been?" She's like, "Oh, I've been here this whole time." Well, we've been here for the last few days. Why didn't you scream out? And she's like, "Oh, well, the dog man had his hand around my face, so I couldn't scream."
No.
Right. And then where'd your hat go? Oh, the dog man ate it. Well, what have you been eating? The dog man's been giving me berries and giving me water.
But he'll eat my hat. But he won't.
Yeah. But if I can find the episode, I'll send it to you so you can hear it. It's mind blowing. So there's one. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just thinking back to this other story from the 70s around here. We had a very famous artist that lived on the outskirts of town. You probably will not recognize his name. It was Irving L. Young. Long story. Made his millions off of ambulances in the war. Anyway.
What?
And he became an artist and he built all these things. Well, we have a Bald Bluff is the name of it's a natural formation. It's a very tall place. And he put a star at the top of that, like a Christmas star type thing. And there were students from the high school. One of them I did not know, but she lived next door to me. She was much older. And her and the kids from the high school would go to look for the Sasquatch, like for something to do, like every week. They would go out and lie down in this field and that thing would cross through right where that star was, like clockwork. Wow. And I never heard any of that until like later on. Yeah. Her name was Judy, and unfortunately she's passed. Had I known this when she was still alive, I could have asked her about it. But that, if I'm like, what the heck? For real?
Right.
I wish that would happen now. And see, now when we're actually accepting it, it's not happening. Right. But yeah, it's all over the place here. UFOs too, which, the two are supposedly connected, or people are hypothesizing that they're connected, and they very well could be.
I love the theory. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's something that my mom had her car, brand new truck, stopped, just shut right off driving home from work at night. She had a light above her. She's trying to figure that out in the car. And it's brand new. Like they had a week. It just wow. And then it started up again and she went home, and I said, "And what time did you get home?" Was there time lost, Mom?
Yes.
Well, weird stuff all over the place. Anyway, I'm babbling, but that's just to give you an example. That's what I grew up in. So it's awfully, for me to already have this going on when I was little, and then I moved to a town like this. I mean,
yes,
I didn't really have a chance to get away from it. So.
Oh no! I mean, I would love to be where you're at, because with all the activity going, it would never be a dull moment. I would be that weird guy outside staring up at the stars every night.
We've got weird guys.
People to howl and a light to beam down on me. I would love every minute of it. Jenny points out that you live near the Beast of Bray. Now, for people who are not familiar with the Beast of Bray, could you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the Beast of Bray Road is actually more Elkhorn area, but it's like on the outside of the town that I live in, the village, if you will.
The village.
It's probably about 15 minutes from here. Bray Road itself, 15 to 20 at the most. It's kind of like white. It's in a little pocket. There's one road. It's not very long, and it's called Bray Road. They've made horrible movies. Don't watch them about the Beast of Bray Road. They make Wisconsin people look really bad, and that they're dumb.
Okay.
But anyway,
I'm watching them for sure now.
Yeah, you will now. Yeah. But people have been reporting on that stretch of road for years about a canine, and it's like a werewolf, for lack of a better term. And this isn't just like, recent history. It's been, I think it was 70s on. It might have been earlier. I don't know for sure. I don't know years. I don't want to be like, I know this, and some cryptid experts like Dana doesn't know what she's talking about. But that's approximation wise. And some of these people, and I know Josh Gates was here and he decided it was a bear or something like that. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, but we don't have bear. Now we have a few bears around here, but that time we did not. And they had to plant them here. The DNR brought them down here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've left here 100 years ago and didn't come back, and now they're putting them back. But that's beside the point. It was not a bear. The episode that's on the Beast Spirit, I mean, you can kind of see something going on there. It was pretty scary. And I live here and I was like, ooh, I guess they did catch something. And then he blew it off. So it was very disappointing. But I know people personally. I used to talk at the high school here about paranormal stuff during a study hall club type thing. And one of their fathers was driving home from work. He worked in Elkhorn, Wisconsin, was driving home. And he didn't talk for 2 weeks. He would not talk for 2 weeks.
Wow.
He was completely traumatized.
Wow.
It was bad. And that wasn't that long ago. That was probably within the last 5 or 6 years. So this isn't something that just stops. And now it's history where people are seeing a coyote and it's walking on two. Somebody came up with that. I'm like, yeah, because there's so many bipedal canines that choose to walk like that. They're not going to walk like that in the circus. I know there's no circus over there by Elkhorn. But
people are watching. Watch me walk on my hind legs.
Yeah, it's Pogo, the dancing wolf. It's not happening. So something's going on out there. We just don't know what it is. And I think a couple people think that the one farmer guy is trying to cash in on it, and I'm thinking, yeah, well, you don't have a cryptid on your farm ripping stuff apart either. So
right. Now let's go here now. Let's segue into something else.
Sure.
With all these cryptids, you have mediumship, psychic abilities. You have so many gifts, but you're also apparently very gifted at reading remotely. So now, and let's do a combo here with cryptids. Have you ever tried to do a remote viewing of cryptids in the area? Is that something you'd explore?
I have never done that. I've never been in a situation, I think, that I just never thought to do it. No, but maybe I should head out to Bray Road when we're done here. Watch my video. You never see me again. You'll find my leg.
No.
No. Call me Pogo Lady. Yeah. But I never thought to do that. And plus, when you're I can find lost pets. So I've found lost pets before.
Oh my God.
Not all the time. The problem with here's the thing with dogs, especially.
Yeah.
Oh God, dogs. They're so ADD that I can remote view and be like, okay, your dog is by the lake or whatever.
Yeah.
By the time I get that out of my face, the dog's now in the field.
Right.
So I'm trying to get a general location. So sometimes it's difficult unless they're laying down or something. But anyway, I don't know why it wouldn't translate into something larger, but do I really want to know what's sitting around me? If I'm reading around my own place, it could be sitting in my backyard one night and I wouldn't know it.
Right. Now, who are we talking to? We were talking to I'm Cheryl Lynn Carter about remote viewing.
Love Cheryl Carter. She's awesome.
And she, got Skinwalker Ranch. She's remote viewed there. And she said at one point there was some sort of a dog man or entity where, she was out around the area there, Skinwalker Ranch. And there was some sort of entity that looked or appeared to be a dog man, and it was looking back at her. So I'm wondering what I'm getting at with that. If you were to attempt that, can they see you when someone travels like that? In an essence, to me, it's like some sort of astral travel, but that's a whole other topic. But
here's a good thing though that you said that. That's a very, very interesting thing to say because, I always think that can people feel me? I'm not ever looking in on somebody I wonder who he's dating. I'm gonna go in there and look at that. I'm not gonna do that.
Right.
But like if I'm looking in a criminal sense, I wonder because I think sometimes what I'm seeing is the actual crime versus
Right.
the criminal. Because I'm not really looking for the criminal. I'm looking for the victim, right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
So the criminal is somebody else's job. I don't want that job. But I wonder if they can feel that. Like if they're sensitive themselves, if they can feel somebody else like looking at them in that fashion.
Right.
And I wonder if an animal would have that same, like an intelligent animal
Yeah.
would likely have more of that because of the survival instinct, which is different than human. We're a little
Right.
bit, they're a little sharper usually.
Right.
That's interesting. I might have to try that experiment.
Right.
See, we got her thinking now. Just want to do a few more shout outs while we have a moment here.
Sure.
The lovely Miss Rhonda Hart's tuning in on us.
Rhonda, hi, Simon.
No.
Hello,
And
Rhonda.
also, we have John Sullivan saying hi to us. John,
Hello,
thank you
John.
so much. I believe I met John at the Sage Paracon in Virginia. I believe so. John will correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, no. I mean, an amazing event once again. But yeah, no. So getting back, now I lost my train of thought. Yeah, no, remote viewing. Yes, that's what we're talking about. Remote viewing.
Mhm.
Now, so to people that might not know what remote viewing is, could you just explain it quickly for
I
the
can
people that
explain it. I can explain it the way that I do it because I'm not like a CIA chick. The CIA's got remote viewers. They have for a long time.
Yeah.
I want to clarify. I am not one of those chicks. I do not want that attached to me. Remote viewing simply is that I don't need to be near you to see what's going on with you. Okay.
Right.
I don't need to be in a place that I know in order to find somebody's remains.
Okay.
For some reason, what I do is I want just the real basic thing, like, maybe a state. So let's say Colorado. I don't want to know city. I don't know what part. I don't care. Just tell me Colorado
Right.
and if it's a male or female type thing.
Okay.
But I have to be with the person that knows all the details. So like a Zoom call or something. I got to tap into that somehow.
Right.
But it also, then I go to these places and it's like looking at it from above.
Wow.
And sometimes I'm looking at it from the perpetrator.
Yes.
So I'm like seeing the back of the victim through the perpetrator after the crime's been committed. So I don't know what that would be called.
Right.
That's what it feels like.
Wow. That's
Okay.
fascinating.
A lot of it's from above, which is more of the remote viewing. So like with the CIA thing, they want me to go, not me again.
Yeah.
They'd want people to, just clarifying, they want people that will like go and basically spy on a nuclear site or
Right.
where are these
Yes.
munitions being hidden. And, to what end, whatever, but I don't personally like that, but I can see how I don't know how they train them, but I understand how that works just because
Right.
it works for me.
Right.
Now, when you're remote viewing pets, for
Yes.
example, to help people,
Mhm.
do you talk to them? Like, can you do
No.
readings for pets or past pets, anything like that?
I am not an animal psychic. I am not an animal. I do not speak dog. I like to think I speak
Right.
cat, but my cat looks at me like, "Lady, you're not making any sense."
Give it up.
I'm at it. So it's
Yes.
not really a talk. It's more of like, for instance, if the animal is afraid, I can feel the fear.
Oh,
I
wow.
know it's fear, so it's
Right.
translating to me as fear. So I can say,
Oh.
okay, well, they must be in a perilous place. Or sometimes I felt them hungry,
Oh.
but
Yeah.
usually they're found.
Okay.
There's only been a couple that I haven't found. One of them was actually, strangely enough, a giant lizard.
A lizard.
I called to find a lizard, and that I'm like, I know nothing of lizards. They're dry. They're
Like a Komodo
scaly.
dragon?
It was my friend Susan.
Yeah.
And it was about, you can't see my hands because I'm in the magic zone. But it was about,
Yes, you are.
it was pretty big. It was big. And, they kind of scare me. But I think
I'm not a fan either. No, they're a little creepy.
she had it out and it climbed out of its cage and then it disappeared. And I'm like,
Wow.
in Chicago.
In Chicago, it was gone.
Probably like smoking a cigarette somewhere, riding the train.
Oh yeah, having a pizza.
I got kicked out of my house, man. But yeah, that's one I didn't find. So I don't know. Cats, dogs, horses. Yep. Horses is a very cerebral experience. They're different than anything else going on. But I can't read them and say your horse wants more hay.
Okay.
You.
Right.
I can't do that.
Okay. I would just throw that in there for fun. Go, hey, by the way, your horse needs more food.
Your horse says you should take me to lunch.
Just got a few more people just popping on real quick. Kim Sage, who I met at Sage Paracon. Kim is an amazing woman. We're going to have her on the show down the road. Yeah. And our good friend, Frank Koopa. Thank you so much for tuning in today, Frank. We're looking forward to seeing you guys in about, a week from this Saturday, really. So that's cool. Yeah, no, that they're doing the Western Bloc thing. So remote viewing. I mean, that is the one thing that I find so fascinating that people are able to do. Me and Michael John talk about this quite a bit, and I mean, where did you learn how to do remote viewing?
I didn't.
Wow.
I didn't learn it. See, this is what I try to explain a lot of the time with people. And I don't, again, I'm not like walking around going, I can do all of these things because I'm super special. I was born this way, I think. So it's like I wish I could harness it and say, oh, all you have to do is this. I don't know how I know how to do it. The reason I figured out, my dad was such a skeptic of everything but UFOs, by the way. UFOs he had experiences with, but not the other stuff. But anyway, I can't remember what the situation was. I was very young when this happened. It had something to do with deer hunting, and he was up at our place in northern Wisconsin, up north, deer hunting.
Up north.
And my mom said something to me about, I don't know where your dad is, or I wish he'd call, because at that point there were no cell phones. He'd have to call from a payphone, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I said something like the name of some bar up there or something. I was like, he's sitting at the bar at whatever it was called. And she's like, what? And that's where he was. And so, they kind of talked about it like, well, but she's like, how would she know, the name or whatever? And I don't know. That's just an example. Yeah. But it was almost like if I needed to see something, I just went and looked. That's what it feels like. Does that make sense?
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I know there's people out there that get taught it. Like you said, like
there's better ways to do it than what I do. But like I said, I never had any of that around me. And it was like, it was more of a practicality for me. Like, oh, I need to go. Is Northern Ireland really doing that right now? Zip. Oh, yep. I guess they are. Okay.
Oh, wow.
I mean, weird stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right.
So it just never seemed weird till later.
Okay. I mean, it's still not weird. I mean, this is who you are. This is the special gift that, I mean, you've got all these amazing gifts that are given to you so naturally. Like you said, it all started back in the diaper stages, and it keeps growing. And I mean, that's the beauty of it. It's like nothing's taught. You didn't have to go, like, I mean, you hear about people going to take Reiki classes and medium classes and meditation classes. And, and here you are, you're knocking it out of the ballpark by it's all natural to you. You're doing it without even thinking that you can do this.
But part of it, my very early on, like with the guy in the dining room, for instance, my mom was not the one doing the Hail Mary. My dad was. My mom was always like, "Oh, what color shirt is he wearing? Oh, what shoes is he wearing?" She'd always ask something to make it seem normal.
Right.
And I don't think that I would be like as much of, and I don't want to make myself sound big, but I don't think I'd have all the different things going on if it weren't for having that early on. Like, she never told me there was no such thing as ghosts.
Right.
It was like, what are they doing?
Right.
Wow.
So
And that's a
I
rarity.
had that especially for 1970s something.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
Last week at Around the Corner.
And she wasn't even a hippie, by the way. She was like pretty straight laced, but she had grown up with some stuff. So
that's cool, man. You're lucky that way. Yeah, because I mean, how many people would be pushed down? Oh, no. No, you're go see the Stricker. 8 million other possibilities for accepting and encouraging, right? So
my poor dad, I drove him crazy. I drove him nuts. Because I'd hear stuff at night and I'd be like, I can't sleep. So I was an insomniac when I was very young.
Oh, really?
Oh my God, it was horrible. As a child, I mean, thinking back, looking at myself as a child, it's really bad. I didn't sleep for days. Kept hearing people in the living room.
So with some of the mediums that we've had on, some of them talk about being able to turn on and turn off their gifts. Are you able to do that as well?
Nah.
Why turn it off? This is fun.
Again, see, here's the thing. Now, if I wasn't as old as I am, I would probably go study under somebody. And I have studied with a few people. It's not like I'm, but it wasn't really about this. It was more about witchcrafty stuff and stuff like that. It wasn't really about psychic mediumship. If I could go backward, I probably would want to do that. But at my age now, I think it could be a detriment to me. Mm-hmm. And maybe I'm just stubborn and I just don't want to do it. But I don't know how much it would really work for me at this time because I'm so set in my ways. I mean, my God, I've been reading since I was 15. I was like 40 years ago. It's a long time. I don't know if I could undo if I'm doing something quote unquote wrong. But
I mean, everything you're doing is not wrong. This is your path. This is your journey. Things happen to you the way that it was meant to happen. And I mean, like the gifts and everything are so natural that, I'm sure there's nothing that you could sit in a classroom with somebody teaching this stuff and you wouldn't learn anything because you're like, been there, done that. That was like 20 years ago.
I think I could learn things. I just think I know me.
Okay.
And I'm a rebel. I'm Dana Stricker, rebel psychic medium.
Because I think we need to put that on a t-shirt.
Well, if something's not broke, don't fix it.
Right. Absolutely.
And I feel like I would be trying to mess with the mechanics of how I learned it. And I think I might unlearn some stuff that way. I don't know. I think I'm making up excuses for not wanting to go to school or something. I don't know.
So Dana, speaking of readings, speaking of readings, Dana.
Yes.
Somebody wants to reach out to you. To get a reading, how do they go about that?
Oh, the easiest way, I know you gave that other address. This is the real deal. I do not advertise. I never have. So you're not going to find me on a web page somewhere. Okay. I do work with Solstice Sisters, which is my group, and I'm on that website. But you're not going to find just me.
Yes.
So to get a hold of me, it's hauntedspiritgirl at Yahoo. That email address is like 800 years old because my best friend made it up for me right when Yahoo came out.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I don't want to change it because, again.
Right. Sorry, hauntedspiritgirl at yahoo.com.
Yep. And that's the best way to reach me.
Yes.
If they'd like a reading. All of my readings are about an hour to an hour and a half long. Just a little preparation. They're not
Right.
short, little choppy things. So
Nice.
So for those that are listening to the show right now, watching it, at some point, what if they want to meet you in person? Where's the next place Dana Stricker is going to be?
I travel a whole lot. I think the next event type situation I'm going to be in, as far as working it, is going to be in San Antonio, Texas in January.
Wow.
They are doing the first Paracon. It's the Kling brothers, if you're familiar with the Klings.
Yeah, you introduced them.
Yes,
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. They are doing right outside of San Antonio. They're doing a pretty nice, they got a lot of good names up there. And I will be a vendor at that. I am not working that event that way. But the Sunday afterward, they're having us at the Beauregard Mansion. The Solstice Sisters, so we'll be having a tea and meet and greet with the Solstice Sisters, and that's a very haunted mansion, by the way. People run away in the middle of the night, kind of place. Yeah.
What is it? The Beauregard Mansion?
The Beauregard Mansion. If you go onto my Facebook page, you can find, or I can send it to you when we're done.
Yeah, please. Sounds interesting.
And they have.
Thank you.
I think they've got some vendor spaces left over. All of the money for this particular event is going to the Special Olympics because
nice
education teachers. So it's a really good one. I'm really excited about it. I will be at Ohio State again. OSR, the Reformatory. My group is there. Again, we're vendors at that. I'm doing Ann Arbor, Michigan in March for Tim Miley. I will be doing I'm a speaker there. So
we will, that is we will be at that event as well.
Oh, good. Yeah.
We will have our show at the Potographs. Pooches for Potographs.
Yep. So that one I'm actually part of the quote unquote talent at.
Part of the talent.
The talent. Excuse me, I'm the talent. Yeah.
What is your topic on specifically?
I think I'm actually I don't know if I'm supposed to tell, but I will. Okay. I think it's like me and two other people are doing something particular.
Oh. There you go, folks. If you want to see what Dana's doing, yeah. If you want to go and support a great cause and see some great speakers, Potographs is definitely an event that you get the best those two worlds. You get to support animals and you get to see some amazing speakers as well.
Ann Arbor is a good event.
Absolutely.
Especially if there's no blizzard this year, because last year Dustin Perry is like Superman. He actually got there and he had to drive a really long time.
He was supposed to. Sorry, Mike.
No, go ahead.
I attended that event, and he drove from Illinois, the airport in Illinois, to Ann Arbor, Michigan, to be a part of that event. So yeah,
it was crazy. I couldn't believe he did that. But my son and I had planned for the day before, knowing there was weather coming, because we're from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And I just got to say, as a side note, your son is an amazing, very polite,
thank you,
young man. I really, you know what I mean? He's right there. He's your assistant. You can see that. He's got mom's back. But
yes.
Very, very polite. Very, you know what I mean? Very professional himself. He's learning from mom, I think.
He's a lot quieter than his mother, though.
He's a little quiet. He is, but he's a good young man.
He's very introvert, but he really likes all the subject matter. So
yeah,
I'm the mouth.
And that's how awesome is that? You get to hang out with him at all these events like that.
He's the most fun to hang out with. Are you kidding me?
Nice.
Very
nice.
Take it while I can get it, man.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, just a quick on the topic of your son. Now, has he shown any of the abilities that you have?
Ooh, good question.
Okay. This is what I'm going to tell you. I think he's medium, but I think that he's too cool to be a medium. So he has, for instance, this is one story and it's real brief. I won't go over time. I was quite ill for a few years of his high school. I was in kidney failure. I don't know if you guys knew that. I was supposed to be dead 6 years ago. Surprise!
Oh my God.
I'm still here.
Yay!
Anyway, so I was in bed a lot. I wasn't able to get up for 2 years. So,
Wow.
he
Wow.
he came into my room one morning before school and he's like, yeah, I got this to do after school and blah, 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 blah. And can I have $20 and this, that, the other thing. And oh, by the way, the lady with the long black hair was standing outside your room last night looking at you. Okay, I got to go by. What lady with the long black hair?
Wow. Yeah.
He still sees somebody down at the end of the hallway here. My house is over 100 years old.
Okay.
Wow.
But I'm like, I don't really, all I can think about is the ring.
Okay.
I don't know. He said black hair, but
Sure.
And his dad's visited him a few times. And we have an old farmer that I think is the guy that built the house that's downstairs. And my mom and I have both seen him standing in the corner as we're watching TV. I mean, it's like, my life is weird, you guys.
But here,
this
you fit right in. You fit right in. There's nothing weird about you, Dana.
That's right. Absolutely nothing. You are part of a great line of people. I mean, there's a lot of weirdos out there. John L. Tenney, one of the weirdest people we know, and makes a whole lifestyle out of it.
He's the best. He's the best. He's a nice guy.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, there's just a lot of stuff upcoming this year yet. I know that my group will be doing a few things too, which we're still working on. So that'll be, you guys can always follow me on Facebook, but don't I have some very I post what I like, so it's not a professional
you do.
page.
I love your stuff.
Oh yeah,
God.
Your Facebook posts make my day.
Many days.
I actually had people at Michigan Paracon that I've never met. They're like, "Are you Dana Stricker?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Right.
I'm coming in just watch. I don't know, I'm not part of this. They're like, "Oh my God, you don't know me, but I follow you on Facebook. We love your memes." And I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh well.
Yep.
Yeah. Some of them are okay. Some of them are a little marginal, and I think some of my relatives are like, "Oh,
what are you doing?" No.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, so
I can't believe we've actually we're the hour has come and gone again.
I believe
we've been really lucky. We've been really lucky, Dana, and you are no exception. I mean, our guests have been second to none, and you're right up there with that as well. You're fitting right in that. And our TPV Nation, the creeps, the freaks, and the weirdos. Yes, in homage to Johnny L. Tenney at the end. Creeps, freaks, and weirdos. You're one of them as well, and that is the highest compliment we can give you. I want to say thank you so much for taking time for us. What a show!
Thank you.
I mean, we talked a little bit about everything and then some. I wish I could have another hour with you just in the backstage. So just but anyways, again, to reach out to you for reading, it's hauntedspiritgirl@yahoo.com. And I'm sorry, the name of the group again that you're a part of
is Solstice Sisters.
Solstice. Oh, I did write it down. Solstice Sisters. Say that fast 10 times, Michaels.
Yeah. Well, I'm used to saying it, so
Sure.
But yeah.
Seashells by the seashore and Solstice Sisters. Oh.
Yes.
Wow. Yes. Okay. And Dale, help me out here. I got tongue tied, literally.
I'm just enjoying the comments on the side. No, Dana, thank you so much for taking the time talking with us, so that the TPV Nation can get to know who you are and just see how beautiful a lady that we already know you are. And we enjoy hanging out with you every single chance we get. So we want to say thank you once again for joining us for this past hour. And hey, we might just have you back for another hour because this has been such a great time. So with that,
talk to Canada, that means I'm international. I'm kidding.
That's right.
There you go.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I want to say thank you so much, of course, to Like I said, the creeps, the freaks, and weirdos that make up the TPV Nation. All of our fans from day one to day now. We can't do it without you. We don't get to do what we love, and that's this. Also, without great guests like Dana Stricker, of course, and everybody else that's made up the list of the guests that have been on Windsor, Ontario's own, the Paranormal Voice. Thank you to everybody. We will see you all on the other side. But in the meantime and in between time, happy hauntings.
Hauntings.